Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Devin and today I'll be giving you guys my 3-month pregnancy update. So today I am starting my second trimester in pregnancy. So I just started my 13 weeks today, which is super exciting. So that means I completed my first 12 weeks, aka my first 3 months. So if you haven't already seen my 1 month and 2 month pregnancy updates, make sure to watch those first. I'll link them down below for you guys. So if you have not seen pregnancy update videos before, just gonna give you a TMI warning. I go into a lot of detail about what is going on with my body and different symptoms that I am experiencing. So if you're a guy, just go ahead and skip along. But I really like to film these videos just to be informative for if you are expecting or wanting to try to conceive and just want to see what to expect during your pregnancy. I loved watching these videos. I still love watching these videos because it makes me feel not so alone when I'm going through these symptoms myself. So if you also enjoy these pregnancy update videos, make sure to give them a thumbs up. It definitely is helpful to know that you guys enjoy them. And if you've not done so already, click that red subscribe button down below. That way you can be a subscriber to my channel and not miss any of my future videos. I have a ton more content. I'm really going to be sharing my entire journey of pregnancy with you guys and motherhood, and I'm just so excited. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my 3-month pregnancy update. Okay guys, so I basically have been logging all of my symptoms for the past month in my phone. Before I was doing it like day by day, but so many of it's just like clumped together. Not a lot changes from like, you know, Monday to Wednesday. So I just sort of just make a list. Okay, so one of the things here I have is that my boobs have still been getting bigger, but they're becoming less sensitive, which is really nice. Random mornings, for some reason in the morning it's really sore. They feel like heavy, and maybe sometimes in the evenings, but for the most part they're not as sensitive as they were, which is really nice. But they're definitely getting big. Like my husband's definitely noticed, like, dang, like there's definitely some growth in that department. So yeah, that's really interesting. I definitely need to get some new bras soon, but it's like I don't want to get a new bra like because I don't know how big they get, and I know that they get even bigger when you're like about to have the baby, because your milk's gonna come in and all that. I know you'll get nursing bras for that, and then they'll continue to change. Yeah, I really don't know what to do with that. So if you guys know, let me know down below. But with the boobs, I will say something that's interesting and that I've heard of is that my nipples have gotten a lot larger as well. Not just like the breast, but like the nipple. So like the circumference, if you will. And they've gotten a lot darker. So, and more bumpy. Like the things, I'll have the name of it on the screen, like little bumps on your nipples. Like there's been a lot more of them. I think that has something to do with preparing for breastfeeding. I don't really know. I remember reading about it in the book, but yeah, there's just like a lot changing in this region, and it's very interesting. But it's cool that like my body knows what to do and it's preparing for that. I don't know, I've been very just like mesmerized by that whole thing. It's like, okay, I get the bump because there's a baby growing there, but there's not a baby growing in my boobs. So it's like, it's so cool that my body knows to like get those larger to prepare for like holding so much milk and feeding my baby. I don't know. It's just been one of the cool things that I'm like not mad about, obviously. So the fact that it's gotten less sensitive for the last month has definitely been a plus. Okay, the next thing has been one of the biggest changes this last month, and that has been my tummy. So I'll show you guys like a bump date at the end of this video, so make sure to stay tuned till the end. But my tummy has been so uncomfortable this last month. I'm feeling okay today, and I think I mentioned this probably in my second pregnancy update for my 2-month, but it's just, it feels just like a balloon. Like my stomach's a balloon, and it's always like getting air pumped into it, and to the point where it's just like really tight, and there's not a lot left to like move the balloon, I guess you could say. So it's just like very weird because I have only gained, at this point I've only gained 3 pounds last time I checked, which was a few days ago, but it does not feel that way because it just feels like my stomach is so filled with air. So I guess that's like gas gassiness, which we'll get to later. But it's also just like, I don't know, so tight feeling and just bloaty. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I have a balloon in my stomach. That's how I feel. And I was not expecting that this early on. Now I'm in my second trimester, but like the progression of my stomach has been the biggest change this last month. It is definitely noticeable now. Like if I'm wearing looser clothes, like you can't really tell, but like if I'm wearing something form-fitting, or obviously like if I'm naked and I see myself, or my husband sees, like it's very obvious. Like I remember one day, and in a not rude way, my husband was like, "Babe, I think you officially have a bump." And I was like, "Yeah, I think so too." And I've been joking. It's so weird because like I didn't used to be able to stretch out my stomach that far, but like I feel like I can like stretch it out so far now, to where like I feel like I look like 6 months pregnant if I like, you know, stretch it all out, which is so funny. But yeah, it's just like, it's to the point where I feel like I can't suck in like all the way to where I looked like before I was pregnant. Like there's now a stopping point, and I was starting to get a little bit of that in the second month of pregnancy, but that was more so just bloating. This is different because at least with the bloating, I could suck in it like for the most part. This is like, it's obviously growing. If you didn't know I was pregnant, you just thought I was looking a little extra fluffy because I maybe have been eating too much pizza or something. But that hasn't been the case because I said I've only gained like 3 pounds. Which I think 2 to 4 is normal for your first trimester. Yeah, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. I've been very uncomfortable in my pants. Like when I have to go out, jeans are so not comfortable. Like I much prefer leggings or sweatpants or just something that's stretchy around that area, because it's definitely getting a little tight in that section. So my bump, again, I'll show it to you later, has officially been produced. It is here, it is out to play, and it is going to continue to grow. So I think that it is encouraging to see the growth for sure, but it's also just weird. It just like makes it more official. Like, I don't know, before it didn't feel as much like I was pregnant, and now I'm like, okay, my stomach is now to the point where it looks like I'm pregnant. So yeah. So with that stomach stuff, gassiness, oh my gosh, guys, it is a problem. I have heard about this, but in my mind, I thought it was like, oh, like I'll be able to control it, like it's no big deal. It's embarrassing. Can I just say I'm super excited that I'm working from home right now because the gassiness is like unreal. And so if you don't know, when you're pregnant, your digestion slows down, and so that causes you to be bloating and also to experience a lot of extra gas that you wouldn't normally feel or experience. And so it is rough. Like thank goodness my husband and I have been together for almost 10 years and we love each other and are comfortable with each other, because I've had to apologize to my husband multiple times. It's so bad. Like it's bad, you know. Like I've never been somebody to talk about gas or anything. I don't like the jokes about it. And it's just gotten to be an issue, and I tell my husband, oh, it's not me, it's the baby. It's not me, it's the baby. He's like, yeah, right. I'm like, no, I promise I would never do this if I wasn't pregnant. Like it's almost like I can't like help it. Like again, it's like that feeling of my stomach being filled up, and it's like it has to escape. I know that's so gross. But yeah, just warning you, if you are not here yet, get ready. I hope that you are comfortable with your partner. If not, maybe you should have a little chat of something to expect, because yeah. And then I read that it's basically going to be continuing to get worse for the rest of my pregnancy, so that's fun. So that has been a not so nice symptom that has showed up. And I experienced like a tiny little bit in the first and second month, but nothing compared to what I've been experiencing this last month. It's like, it's an issue, y'all. So yeah, gassiness, not fun. So next up is fatigue. So I've experienced fatigue in both the first and second month, and I would say it fluctuates. It has been for the last few weeks. Some days I really just have no motivation and want to stay in bed all day, and like I don't know, it just like feels like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do anything. So it's really hard, but my husband's really, really great. He definitely motivates me to like get up and do things, go on walks. Working out has been really hard for me, to be honest, just because I'm so tired, and I feel like I cannot do anything. I have to force myself to be productive and get things done. So that's just been hard. Like, I'm seeing myself like wanting to go to bed a lot sooner than I had before. Like, I remember one night, like, it was like I think it was like 8:30, and I was like falling asleep, and that's like so early. So like each night I'm like okay with going to bed earlier and earlier, and like once I get in bed I do not want to get out. So that's been tough. But having someone to motivate you to, you know, keep getting up and doing things has been nice. Staying busy, and at least if you are like in bed or something, doing something productive, not just like watching Netflix. So like reading, or for me like editing YouTube videos or something like that, I think can make you feel less, I guess, lazy, if you will. So yeah, fatigue has been pretty rough this last month, but again, I have good days and bad days. I've heard that fatigue can get a little bit better in the second trimester. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. Okay, so next up is my nausea relief. So today, like, I can tell you that this is the best that I have felt on my pregnancy thus far. If you have not already seen my video on how I overcame nausea, or tips and tricks on nausea, I don't know what I named it at this point, but I'll make sure to link that down below. I feel like a lot of those things that I've implemented in my day-to-day has really helped me with the nausea, but also I feel like there's just been a relief in general of the nausea for me, especially in the last couple weeks. So I'll still experience it sometimes, but as long as I'm good and following those tips that I talked about in that video, I'm pretty good. But I just feel way more like myself. Like, the nausea has definitely, of the entire pregnancy, has been my least favorite symptom. It's been really hard to overcome because there's not much you can do about it when you're feeling sick. So that should be a little light for you guys if you're going through the very beginning, or you're worried about being nauseous when you're pregnant. You know, I never experienced any sickness, you know, like throwing up, but the nausea has been pretty consistent since about like week 5 of my pregnancy going forward. And then like the last couple weeks, so I guess week 11 and 12 has just been way better. And like today, I feel like it's not even that much of an issue anymore, which makes me feel a lot more like myself. So yeah, it's just been like really encouraging not having to deal with that as much. It definitely makes, you know, being pregnant more enjoyable when you do not feel sick every day. So that has been a plus. I have a few more symptoms. The first is that randomly a couple weeks ago I started getting some like super low back pain on the left side, and I've never had that before. It almost feels like a nerve type of pain, like really deep in my lower back, and so that's been super annoying, and I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's related to the pregnancy or if I just stretched it or slept wrong, but that's been something. I've also had increased vaginal discharge, which is weird, and I read about that, but just you can look it up, but I've definitely experienced it. And so wearing like a little panty liner has been helpful for that. And apparently it's helping the vagina to basically steering clear of infection in that area. So in like your cervix and stuff, to prepare for later on. So I think that's pretty cool that there's at least a reason to it. I would say a couple months of pregnancy, I just, you know, having an appetite was not really a thing. Like, everybody says, oh, you get so hungry, and I'm like, not me. Like, I'm forcing myself to eat. But I feel like my hunger is actually there. Like, in my nausea video, I mentioned how I eat every 2 hours, and so a lot of that was like forceful, like, okay, just get something down so that I don't get nauseous, obviously. And so now I like actually look forward to it every 2 hours. Like, I'm actually hungry, and I don't know if I trained my body that way, but I definitely like have a pretty good appetite now when I wake up, and throughout the day, like, I look forward to eating, and eating like a good amount. I'm definitely like not overeating. I think they recommend like an extra 300 calories for like your first trimester. So I think that's been pretty spot on for me. And during the week I eat really healthy. If you guys haven't seen what I eat in a day for my first trimester, I'll also link that down below. But yeah, so I think like overall I've been eating really good, but I just have been more hungry and like I want to eat. So that's been really exciting. As far as cravings goes, I haven't really had anything crazy. I've had like 1 or 2 things that I've craved, but it was only like for a second and then it was gone. So I'm really looking forward to like, you know, the actual like, oh, I need this. Like, I don't know, I've always looked forward to that. When I knew that I was gonna be pregnant one day, I just thought that was super fun. And I haven't gotten there yet, but I heard that that will come this second trimester, so we'll see. And the last thing is probably that I've been feeling a little congested-y over the last month, to the point where I felt like I would wake up and feel just like icky. It just feels almost like I really can't breathe sometimes, which I used to do like every once in a while. But at night, I'm making sure every single night I have my little oil diffuser right next to my bed. It's almost like a little humidifier almost, and I put some lavender oil in there, and I feel like I can just breathe better at night and I don't feel as congested in the morning. So I see myself probably having to do that for the rest of my pregnancy, because I heard that you definitely get congested, like especially in the 3rd trimester, and you get all swollen and all of that. So it's definitely been a plus just having that right next to my bed. So when I sleep, it's right there and getting into my airway. So yeah guys, that is about all the symptoms and changes that I've been experiencing for my 3rd month of pregnancy. So again, I'm so happy that I'm all done with my first trimester. It's definitely gotten more real for me. I feel like I'm finally getting to that point of excitement in the pregnancy. I don't know, like obviously like I was waiting to tell people for a long time, and just yesterday, which was Saturday the 23rd, is when I announced it to everybody. So before yesterday, I'd only told like a handful of family and friends about the pregnancy. So just being able to get that out in the open yesterday was so helpful for me, because I feel like Christian and I can finally be excited, and it's real and everything's gone well. We actually had our 2nd sonogram. We had that this last week on Tuesday, and so it went so well. And so just being able to get next to that milestone or past that milestone has just been a huge relief as well, just knowing the baby is doing well. So yeah, there's a ton to be looking forward to for the 2nd trimester. We'll find out the gender soon. I would say in the next like week and a half we should find out, which is so exciting. Obviously my bump's gonna start to get bigger and being more like visible. And yeah, like the baby is just going to continue to grow, which I think is so amazing. Oh, and let me go ahead and show you guys a little update. So anyways, I know that was super long and rambly and chatty, but I hope that you found it helpful and informative or entertaining. So again, make sure you give a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not done so already. And also, if you've not done so, you can go to Instagram and follow me there. It's just Life by Devin, so you can see a little bit more of my day-to-day. I would greatly appreciate it. But other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking to the end, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!